Welcome back to my channel, My Fish and I. Today I'm just gonna give you part one of my fish room tour. This basically is of the tanks in my basement. So the first tank is my Discus project. It's not complete yet. Just a bare bottom tank. I'm trying to grow out these big boys. Actually, I'm actually trying to grow some other Discus to put with them because the size difference is greatly separate. So the smaller fish grows faster than the big fish, but if I put them all together, sometime the big fish are going to be out competing the other small fish, so it's going to probably stunt their growth because they're not getting enough food. So I basically just separate them until future adventure. I put them all together. Put some guppies in the tank and thought they would eat them, but they actually breed in the tank, so I guess these cichlids is not as aggressive as the Africans. They became friends with their food. What can you do? Just leave them, let them grow, and they enjoy each other's company. Yeah, so you see a beautiful fish, man, swimming around, peaceful for the most part, but the dominant male over there sometimes push around the red melons at times, but no fin damage, no nothing, just a little scuffle because they're cichlids, they have a temper. The other tank beside it is my babies. Just have red Borali babies just growing out. They look like they're actually just 2 weeks old. Whole bunch of fish in there, so just growing them out till they can grow big, sell some of them, or put them all together in a bigger tank. But for now, that's good. This tank is of my duckweeds. I almost didn't remember what was in the tank, but it's after my duckweeds, but it's actually my guppy and shrimp tank. This tank been up and running probably like for 8 years. Hardly do water change. I just literally just tap it off. Shrimps are not that fussy, and there are a whole bunch of all mixed Skittle shrimp in there. Red, blue, yellow, black. You hardly can see them. This tank is also of some more baby fish where you hardly can see them. These are OB Peacock Fries from my red OB. They're very tiny, but if you look close, you'll see them swimming around. These ones are actually like almost a month old, but the Borali fry are bigger than them. Bigger fish, bigger fry, I guess. This is another baby tank, but these are probably like 4 months old. These are for my geos, my geo baby. I actually only have probably like 4 fries in them. I didn't plan on keeping them. It was a surprise when I see my main tank. I see the baby, so I just caught them and I just let them grow out in that tank and till they get big, so I can move them in another tank. This tank is after other discuses I'm trying to grow out. I think there's 5 discuses in there, so I'm power feeding them, doing lots of water change to help them grow and get big as the adult discuses. So I'm gonna give it a few months before I put them together and see how that goes. Try to feed them around 4 times a day to help speed up that growth and keep the 86 degrees at the temperature. This is my kind of my feeder tank. I have all my cull shrimps, the guppies I don't like, ramhorn snails, which I just take out of that tank and feed my clown loach. The guppies I feed my bigger fish, and the shrimps I just leave them in there, and time I catch some and feed. try to feed to the discuses, but even them they become friends with. This is my planted 100-gallon tank with rainbows and trophiets. Very active, lively plants. As I say, no problems with this tank. This tank just few vegetables, flakes. A lot of times I don't even eat it, and I don't even feed them, and they can nibble on the plant, but all you see, none of the plant them are damaged. They leave the plants alone, swim around and enjoying their life in the fish room. I love that dwarf sag, just carpeted very well. And all these things, I don't run any CO2 on my tanks. It's just organic cordon soil capped with sand. I actually raise most of these fish. These were from my OB and some of my haps. I just put them together with babies. They're probably around a year old. And that female, that big Barali female, was the one that produced like 100 fries. I have a large Venistris in there that I had to move from out of my 350 because he was getting bullied, but he's settled in here well. He's probably the tank boss. And then I have probably the largest OB you'll see. This guy is huge. The camera don't do it justice, but he always just chilling in the corner with the Venustus. Man, I love that tank. So I even ever bring it back to the Discus tank. I can't wait till everybody grow up. Then I can probably plant some Anubis in the tank. I want to put some clown loaches on the bottom with these guys, but I was trying to take them out of this tank to put it in that tank, but to catch them, it's a headache. I would have to just destroy the whole tank just to catch 10 of these. There's 10 of them in there. Thanks for watching and just the fish room tour. Stay tuned for part 2.